Hello, everyone, and welcome to our segment, Did You See That? I'm your host, Jessica Krauser, and I'm here with my co-host, Brian Baker.
Hello.
Today, we are talking about hallucinations and delusions. This is a touchy subject, as most people with Parkinson's don't want to be seen or labeled as crazy. It's bad enough that we walk slow, shuffle our feet, shake, or mumble. But to say you are seeing dogs that aren't really there or believing your spouse is cheating, well, we might as well just put a PD stamp on our forehead. So my neurologist told me about the potential for hallucinations and delusions when I first started taking medication. And what I've learned is that you can, Parkinson's patients might have hallucinations or have different delusions if just from Parkinson's in general or from medication, and they don't always know where it's coming from.
The good medication?
The good stuff. No, I know what you're talking about. We'll get that to another segment. But no, I haven't experienced any of that yet. The only thing I have experienced is sometimes I hear things, and it's only happened a handful of times, but it's like really, really like it was a legit sound. And I would look over at my husband. I'm like, did you hear that? And he's like, no. I'm like, seriously? He's like, no, I didn't. So I have that, and my dreams are like crazy real.
Yeah. I just changed medication, but the previous medication I was on, I had a lot more very realistic dreams, like to the point where I would wake up and I'm like, did I really have that conversation with somebody?
Yeah.
Or was that a dream? Like, or did that really happen, or was that a dream? Like, because you couldn't tell.
Yeah. No, and that's what, and it's scary. I mean, but again, like we've talked about before, having the community of people that we do, and we talk after our exercise classes. I've asked so many people, I'm like, do you have are your dreams like crazy? And everyone's like, oh my gosh, the dreams I've been having are just like, they're so real. Like it's right there. Like you're in it. So at least I know that we're not totally alone.
I'm in the same boat.
So let's talk about this fact. 20 to 40% of Parkinson's patients report this type of experience. And the percent increases as the disease progresses. It's kind of scary there. So according to the Parkinson's Foundation, dopaminergic. No, I'm going to try this again. This is where I hate saying some of these terminologies because I got bradykinesia and dyskinesia and dystonia, but dopaminergic therapies. That's good. The medicine we take. How about that? It increases the level of dopamine in the brain to help with our motor skills, but it could also cause changes that lead to hallucinations or delusions. I haven't really talked to anybody who has had any hallucinations,
No.
but I do know people don't want to talk about it.
No, I haven't. I don't know anybody that's experienced it personally, but there was a commercial out for medication to deal with it and it was a very dark commercial. And I know like a lot of the doctors, a lot of people were like, and I had a lot of family members and friends were like, do you have hallucinations? And, I would say, hey, I did this or did that. They're like, did you really do that? Or did you hallucinate? You did that? I was like, no, I really did that. So,
yeah.
But no, it gave that, I got a lot of attention from people that, aren't really familiar with Parkinson's.
And that's the thing that's hard too with having Parkinson's and the fact that there is no cure. Yes, we're on, Cinnament or carbidopa, levodopa. There's ropinirole and Mirapex, things like that, that will help your symptoms in some regards. But you can also get these crazy side effects, and now they're creating medications to help with those side effects. So like you were saying, for hallucinations, I know exactly what drug you're talking about. They came out with a drug to combat the hallucinations that you could be experiencing from the drug that you're already on to help with your Parkinson's. So it's like, holy crap. A lot of medications. So a few things that can help alleviate the isolation that these hallucinations give, because I can imagine it being scary and not fun to talk about. But caregiver reassurance that the patient is safe and validate their experience and adjust their medication. So you know, if who would you say your caregiver is? Like, who takes care of you? Your son?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, he lives with me, but he's a senior in high school. He doesn't,
But he could be the one that you could
Yes,
potentially
he would.
confide in, right?
He's gonna have to take care of me when I can't take care of myself. Yes.
And so same thing, like, with my husband, it's you having somebody that you can confide in and understand, like they have a good understanding of what you're going through so that they can help you realize, do you have to change medications, or, just to validate that what you're feeling or going through is not crazy. It's just part of the medication. 'Cause I found out that all things can be adjusted just by talking to your doctor. We talked about this earlier this year, like changing your medications.
Yeah.
That was a significant help for you, wasn't it?
It's been different. We're still tweaking it, trying to get it right, but it's an ongoing. That never stops for me. You're always tweaking it here, tweaking it there, adding this or adding that. That's a big piece of the puzzle, putting it all together.
What's like the longest time frame that you had on the same dosage of medication?
Maybe a year.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
Oh, that's good.
Because they started me out on one line of medicine, and like you talk about gloom and doom. That was like, it just made my mood horrible. Mm-hmm. And I literally went into the neurologist, and he could tell. He just looked at me and said, "We have to get you off this line of medicine."
Yeah.
And so we tried stuff. And then I was only going. I was only seeing him every 3 months initially. Then we went to every 6 months, and I was probably on the same line for maybe a year. But I think we've tweaked it every time I've gone since then.
Yeah. I think this has been my longest stint, because I wasn't having necessarily hallucinations when I was on ropinirole, but I was having the side effect of what's it called? Like the doctor said you could be addictions, like
obsessive compulsive.
Yeah, obsessive compulsive addictions. Given that to a type A personality individual like myself.
You're type A?
Yeah, imagine that. But when I had to get off of that, because she said the same thing. She's like, "This is not good." She's like, "You're experiencing these addictive behaviors," and mine actually was, I was addicted to, I don't know if it was work or being on my computer or just...
That's not what I would have guessed.
Right? No. Stop it. I'm just glad that it was something that I could control. But it took me speaking up. I actually let it go on for, I don't know, 6 to 9 months at least of that behavior of, I would stay up all night. I was sleeping a lot less, like just because I was crazy about always being on the computer and getting things done, and work was busy, but it wasn't that busy.
Right.
And but just like hallucinations, having these addictive behaviors, you really have to be your own advocate and make sure you're watching out for yourself, because I should have spoken up before, but I don't know. It's like I didn't. I would lie to my husband. He's like, "What time did you come up to bed last night?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, like 1 o'clock in the morning." And I probably didn't go to bed. Like I was in my office. Yeah. And COVID obviously like exasperated that. But it just all goes to show you have to be able to speak up about anything that's going on in your life with your physician, because it can all be a part of the medication you're taking or just something that you're experiencing.
Yeah, but you got to be open with a physician, and that's important. We've talked about it before, about getting you to the right physician, about getting you right to the right MDS, and making sure you connect with that physician on a personal level. Mm-hmm. Not everybody connects with everybody, so if you're with the wrong doctor, don't be afraid to make a switch. If you're not getting what the answers you need, make a switch.
Yeah, it's like having a connection with a friend. Oh. In our last 30 seconds, I want to leave you with this. Be your own advocate. If you notice something out of the ordinary, don't be afraid to talk about it with your caregiver or doctor. There are so many nuances to this disease that we don't even know about. But being upfront and open will give you a clear head and feel confident and have a positive start to each day. Hallucinations and delusions need to be discussed for medication to be adjusted or a new medication prescribed. But it does all come down to the benefit over side effect. If the side effect is too much and overshadowing the benefit of the med, is it really worth it? So, thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned that you aren't the only one experiencing hallucinations or delusions or addictions, whatever it may be. Speak up and be your own advocate with your doctor. Life is too short not to.